Welcome to Dying to Know, where we open up about everything that comes with losing a loved one.
Because the only thing that's worse than death is not being able to talk about it.
We're your Bereavement Babes, Leah and Rachel, and today we're talking experiences. What's up?
So we're talking experiences, but experiences we've decided to do to heal our grief and like experiences for grief processing, right?
I think so. Yeah. Like just, I guess like I don't want to say out of the norm, but like different ways of healing.
Yeah.
So we've heard of like sound baths and Reiki cleanings and like mediums and tarot cards and things of that nature. So like experiences that we personally have done.
Yeah.
So, I mean, did you do yours to help get grief? I guess I didn't think that was in front of my mind when I was signing up for these things. Or was that front of mind for you?
I think for me, because I feel like I know because of the podcast and because we're talking about grief, we're always kind of looking for different grief events.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's a little mix of both, where I've learned to like I'm just having anxiety and all that. I've learned that like certain experiences calm me down. I feel like somewhat help with grief, or I've like learned that it's like connected with my grief.
Yeah.
And then there are some where I feel like, so I think the one that you're going to talk about, I feel like we kind of did for our grief.
I think so too, yeah. Because I'm thinking like my very first one, I think my intention was just in a weird space in life. Like prior to my dad's passing, 2020 was just weird for a lot of people. So mentally, I felt like I just was not stable and I didn't know how to express that to people or ask for help. So then I started like seeking these other ways of like healing, which I thought were pretty cool. And then I think specifically the experience that we did together, I think was about grief.
Yes.
So I am a sound bath whore. Yeah. I love sound baths. My goal this year was to take a sound bath every quarter.
Yeah, I think it was quarter.
But I fell short of that. I did my Q1, but I've missed Q2. And what are we, like Q3 now?
Yeah.
So yeah. A little late on that. But
maybe do 2 this quarter.
Yeah, maybe I can do
catch
2.
up on it.
Yeah, I can catch up on it. Yeah, my schedule's slowing down a bit, so that'll be good. But I guess like to describe a sound bath is, and I'm not sure if this is a real definition, so please don't quote me, but usually it's someone with like sound bowls and like, I guess some sort of instrument stick, for lack of a better term, where they like swirl it in the bowl or they hit it. Sometimes they have gongs, but as humans, we have like vibrational levels. Yeah. So it helps to like, I don't know if it balances or just puts you at a vibration that you need to be like steadily working at. So it seemed like an abstract idea to me coming into it, but I was interested because I was just open to a lot of different things. Mm-hmm. And the one that we did together was with Lisa Mar. I'm sorry.
For Be Your Own Healer.
Yes.
That Instagram account.
Yes.
Or that healing account.
Yes, which is a great group, and they do a lot of different events.
Yeah, across the country too. Denver, California.
Oh yeah, and she even goes from coast to coast.
Yeah, they hold retreats. Yeah, no, they have a little bit of everything for whatever you're looking for.
Yes. But you sent that one to me and we did it together, and she was giving like some tea elixir.
Yeah, that blue.
We really thought it was going to be shrooms.
Yeah, I was really nervous. I'm like, I drove here.
You were like, how am I going to drive home?
Yeah.
But anyway, she had us like set our intentions for before we did the sound bath. We also had like journals to write down different things, and we really got a chance to meet a lot of different ladies that I'm still in contact with.
Yeah, it was also networking, which was also really nice.
Which was really nice.
But it didn't feel like hardcore networking. Like it was awesome to bring up the podcast or learn about a girl's like tea mushroom business. So,
I forgot about her. Yeah. And then we even met like a future deaf doula, Lacey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still in contact with her, and she does like a lot of different events too.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah. So that sound bath I think was my like second or third. Yeah. I didn't get as comfortable into that sound bath. It was a little tight in the room, but like whatever, it is what it is. But usually doing sound, I have trouble focusing. Like, I think in yoga, they call it a monkey mind. Like, my mind is constantly running. Mm-hmm. So I really like a sound bath because it gives you that state of, like, not thinking about anything and kind of like a form of, like, meditation. Yes. And then also hearing the sounds of the bowl, and like you can really feel it in your body about the vibrations. So I really enjoy just laying down and just kind of like experiencing that. I know sometimes I've been to one where they have essential oils and they'll come around and like put them under your nose. And they also have so many different ones that I enjoy. But that was the one that we did together where we took the tea, and I thought that was really a good experience. And I've had 2 prior to that one. So my first one was New Year's. That's one I couldn't remember.
Yes, I do.
It was the top of 20 2. Yes. Okay, that was my first sound bath. And I did that back home in Baltimore.
Yes.
That was a really good sound bath. Like, and also it was a breathwork.
Oh,
breathwork technique as well, which also like regulates or changes your body temperature. Mm-hmm. So she told you to come with like hoodies and like blankets. I'm going everywhere. I'm sorry. I just do so many sound baths. They're starting to blur. And she did essential oils at that one. So that was really nice.
I feel like the essential oils, depending on which oil, it can be like calming or just like, like I love getting that a little essential oil burst before you go into something.
I know. Yeah. Usually mine was afterwards, like to come up out of our, come up out of our like rest or meditation. She like came around and like put it right under our nose and stuff.
Yeah, I think I've got, because how you said too, where your mind goes a little bit everywhere, like I've connected a lot with like guided stuff, like guided meditations or the sound baths where it's just like it like takes you somewhere else where sometimes in the silence I can't focus.
I know.
So yeah, one guided meditation that I used to do back in Jersey City, Ricky Jean, she was amazing, like every Monday night. And she would start you off with essential oils. You would breathe it in. You would kind of like, she would do like some type of movement before you went into the guided meditation. It was just amazing. I loved it. Yeah.
Damn. Okay. And I also did one in DR because I went to like a healing.
And that was your big birthday one.
Yeah, that was the birthday one. That was and it was a long one too. They had a gong and everything. I had to do 2 sound baths while I was away that time. But I love them. That's just to say that I love sound baths. I've done multiple ones. I really suggest them for everyone. I always said if I had a baby shower, if I have a baby, that's what I'm going to do at my baby shower.
Oh, yeah.
Is just do a sound bath. Like, hopefully it's in the summer. But anywho, I really enjoy them. I think I guess it helps to clear my mind. Coming up out of them, I just feel different. I can't really explain it well. I don't have the words to explain it. But I feel a little bit more like level-headed, peaceful. I feel like I've released something, and now that I'm vibrating at the level that I'm supposed to be, makes me feel a little better. And I look forward to so many other ones.
Do you feel connected just with your, like, very much in self, or have you like come out of it and like connected with your grief more, or like have you cried during one? Like, does it bring up emotions, or is it truly just something where you need to like almost cleanse your grief away for a little bit?
I feel like it's a cleansing experience. The one I did in DR, a lady, it was her first time, and her friend and I remember like staying after the talk to the ladies, and I remember she was still seated and like tears were on her face, and she was like, "What did I just experience?" And I was like, "Yes, that's what you're supposed to feel."
Yeah.
But no, I've never cried. I just feel like a release. Again, I think my mind is constantly busy, and I've heard before in like therapy, like out your mind and in your body.
Oh, wow.
So I feel like when I do a sound bath, I'm no longer in my head. I'm in my body, and I'm more present for at least a couple days. Obviously, it wears off. I wish I could do them once a week, but because I can't. I mean, maybe I could.
Yeah, or just like listen to it at like the music of it.
It's not the same. It's not the same, especially in New York City. It's too noisy here. Like to get that like real solitude, and also to be in a collective group with people who are feeling the same thing. I think it's a great experience. So I'm looking forward to doing more. And also, I've done a Reiki cleaning as well.
Oh, okay.
Which was a little different. That was for free, and it was just, I guess, strange. It felt like she was doing like moves like this around my body when my eyes were closed. And she said my energy was pretty good, but I would love to get one now because I'm sure that it would be different.
So that actually was my most recent one. It was a grief circle Reiki cleaning.
Okay.
Where the place itself, it was in, I think, I'm going to say Lower Manhattan. I don't know. It was in Manhattan in the 50s. And then it was a very small group. It was me and 2 other girls. And it's crazy because I feel like when you're in such a small group, you feel everyone's energy so much. And I feel like you could feel that some girls just came from work, or like I wanted to put like comfy yoga clothes on, where some girls were still in jeans, or some girls were in their businesses. Like you could just feel the differenceness of everyone, or like the energies rushing of everyone. And she also did, the Reiki cleaning where she did do some sound bath noises. And then I feel like you could almost feel her like pulling the energies from you.
Really?
And again, I did this around I did it around Father's Day. So I don't know if I already had like those emotions brewing in me, or just the emotions of like these 2 other grieving people with me.
So yours was specifically for
grief.
Okay,
yeah.
For grief. Okay.
So we did it. I cried a little bit, and I'm not like a crier like that.
Wow.
I did have eye mask on, so I felt like a safe space to cry.
Okay.
But yeah, we did it. And then afterwards, there was some opportunity to kind of like talk about your grief. And it's like, I don't want to force people to talk about, but I feel like we were all kind of like headed out a little bit, and like we already went through the process where I almost wonder if like we should have talked about it beforehand. But you don't want to force people either to talk. I feel like when it said grief circle, I wasn't sure if there would be something a little more like formal group chatting or just like talking about grief, where I was like, oh, like it's around Father's Day, like I can share almost.
But did you?
No, because then I got nervous.
But did other people share?
No,
no one
because
shared.
That was the thing. Everyone was kind of getting ready to walk out.
It was too late. So it should have been in the beginning, like to set the intention.
Like or even just like, and then after the like Reiki, we're gonna all talk about it. But again, I feel like not everyone wants to talk about it, and we can't force people to talk.
You can't.
But I really enjoyed the experience. I feel like it was nice to. I should probably look what Reiki healing is, but I feel like I did feel something out of it. And I feel like just being in such a calm, like it was all white with like the smells and everything. Like I mean, I love being in a studio like that, just like relaxing.
Yeah.
So it was a nice experience. And what was also really nice is they understand like not everyone can afford to do these type of experiences, and since it was grief based, you could kind of like pay what you wanted to do the experience, which also I thought was like really beautiful of them to do. And I know they do, from their Instagram, you can probably find out, they do a whole like slew of other type of like healing, grief, and I feel like there was something else. I think tarot events, but they do a whole different like slew of stuff.
Okay. I know you said during your Reiki cleaning, it felt like she was pulling like the, I guess, energy, putting energy into you or pulling it
out, I feel.
Okay. So like, do you think that helped with your grief? Like, because it was near Father's Day, you said, right?
I think so. I think it just put me in touch with my emotions a little bit more. And just like, it felt a little more like connected to Dad. And like, okay, like this is coming around. I feel like after it just felt nice. Like afterwards, it just felt peaceful, which I feel like is always nice to come out of these events. Good. Like, I feel like even when we did our sound bath and like the networking, it's just nice to like walk out and feel like, okay, I'm a little bit more cleansed, or I'm just a little bit more relaxed. So I feel like, especially when you don't know what you're going to get out of it, as long as you feel a little bit more relaxed at the end of it, it's like a success.
I agree. Yes. So this is something you would definitely do again?
I think so. Maybe not like once a month, maybe like once a year-ish.
Once a year?
Maybe.
Not as frequent. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know, because I feel like, if anything, I love my guided meditations. Like, I love...
Oh, you listen to something?
No, or I like going to them. I feel like an in-person guided meditation out in Jersey City would probably be like my thing, my jam.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Not the sound bathy. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I don't mind a sound bath here or there. I feel like sometimes I've gotten and they get a little too crowded.
Okay.
And again, how you said it's vibrations. I feel like when there's too many people, you're catching everyone's emotions and they're jumping on you.
That's interesting. I never thought of it like, I mean, because as humans, we do exchange energy and put energy into other people, but I've never thought of my sound baths or any ones that I've attended, like feeling other people's energy. Yeah. Maybe I'm super self-centered.
I think the one I went to, we were like very much on top of each other, which I feel like even with the grief circle, we were very close to each other.
Yeah.
So right away, you could just like feel the energies, which I feel like I've never thought about that either up until I'm like, okay, like really tight. And that's when I feel like you pick up like, okay, you really have to make sure this event is something that you're going to want, because you bring so much energy to the table.
No, of course. And I guess maybe I'm thinking everyone here is seeking not the exact same thing. Like maybe it's not grief related. It could just be like, I feel lost in life, or I just need to feel a little bit more grounded, or I'm looking for new ways of healing. So I feel like because most of us are all like-minded and we seek this out, that I'm not about to be introduced into some crazy energy. But I mean, people can show up anywhere.
Yes. And then I was reading on the Lurkin Center, where I go to therapy.
Okay.
What they kind of said about group therapy, it allows members to normalize their feelings and experiences, because you're now sharing this experience with like other people who kind of like are going through the same thing. Yeah. So that is kind of where the piece of doing things in groups come from, is like normalizing what you're going through, like knowing you're not alone.
Yeah. I didn't even think, would you try a group therapy? I mean, I know you do these groups meditations, but would you do one where it was like everyone kind of shares and speaks to like someone?
I think I would probably do it if it was like maybe all women or all lost your father first. Like, I feel like I would want to feel relatable with it at first, because I know as I'm like doing a podcast saying I'm not as comfortable talking about it. I mean, but I feel like there is a safety net and like going through something similar. So I feel like maybe like something smaller or small groups I would have to start with.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if they call that like a form of trauma bonding. Is that like the same thing?
It's probably just what we do.
But like a healthier way since it's like facilitated.
Maybe.
I don't think I've ever thought about it until not this moment, but when we were out and at Vicky's party and we met her friend Victoria.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, shout out to Victoria.
Yeah.
Who sweet soul, yes. And she was sharing with us how she has like a group of girls that she connects with. I believe they're all women. And I believe they all have experienced some sort of loss. And they do some sort of like group activity like once a month.
I love that.
So I was like, I would be interested in something like that. Like hearing it come from her and like how it's been helping her in her own grief journey. I'm like, I would be open to like meeting with a group of people like that. And I know my mom had did a, I think specifically for widows, a grief group. So I was like, okay, I would be open.
No, I think something like that is nice where maybe you are doing these experiences together, because talking about grief constantly does get overwhelming. Like even there are times where we leave the podcast after filming and I'm like, wow, okay, it's a little heavier now.
Yeah, that is true. And even after therapy some nights, I'm like, actually I can't.
It's the weight of it. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's the balance of like speaking about your journey, but also making sure you're healing it too.
That's true. Outside of the guided meditations, sound baths, and Reiki, is there any other experiences that you would like to do as you continue on your grief journey and healing journey?
I did a medium experience real quick. Mm-hmm. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst. Like I didn't connect with anyone on the other side, but I think that would be the next thing I'm interested in. Yeah. Like I would maybe try it because then it's just like, should you not? But it was an interesting experience. I probably wouldn't recommend it. So that's why I'm like, should I do it? But I feel like if I maybe met the right person.
Yeah, we need the Long Island medium.
Yeah. Maybe future guests, or maybe that's the next thing we try together.
I would love to see a medium. Honestly, I need that. I don't know if I need it, but I want it. Nice, it would really be nice to like connect to the other side and to see that. I don't watch Long Island Medium. But I've heard of her and obviously saw in clips, and to see how she interacts with other people in public and how that can also bring like peace to a lot of people. I think that would be really dope if I could connect to the other side and hear something. Also like some sort of like tarot card reading. I know you tried to hook me up with that. Yeah, during my birthday. That was like COVID time.
Yeah, because we did it virtually.
So since then I've been like, all right, I would go to a reading. Yeah, I think that would be next up.
Season 4.
Yeah, I think we should do one together.
Yeah.
Today's episode is dedicated to Walter Mercado. Again, we're your bereavement babes, Leah and Rachel, and we'll see you on the other side.